Welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg. I'm Village President Al Larson. In this episode, I'll be talking with Michelle Holtzman, Alberto Arias, and Lauren Blaine from the Schaumburg Dance Ensemble about their holiday production of the Nutcracker. Then Rob Paleckis and Joe Malmquist will drop by and tell us about the Schaumburg Youth Orchestra's upcoming Presto Holiday Concert. We'll finish the program by speaking with representatives from the Schaumburg Jaycees about their annual Wish Tree program. All of this and more today on Speaking of Schaumburg. As the holidays approach, it's time again for the Prairie Center to host the Schaumburg Dance Ensemble's annual production of the Nutcracker. To tell us more about this magical event, we have with us Ensemble Director Michelle Holtzman and Director Alberto Arias and dancer Lauren Blaine. Well, welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg.
Thank you.
We've done this before, haven't we?
We have.
How did we do last time?
Excellent. We're hoping for a reprise.
So what's new about the Nutcracker this year?
Well, we've added some new things to our production. We are changing the Mother Ginger scene a little bit. That's the scene where the large mother lets the little children out from under the skirts. We've added some ribbon dancers. It's almost like if you see rhythmic gymnastics.
Sure.
They dance. And then Alberto has restaged the battle, so it's significantly different than it's been before.
The battle with the Mouse King?
The battle with the Mouse King.
Ah.
He still dies.
That was a classic.
He still dies, but the process is different.
In the past, the Mouse King has died more than once, too. A little kick there, you know.
Yeah.
What have you done, Alberto, to...
Well, we got rid of some props that we used in the past. We used to use a chariot, and we've replaced it with a sofa.
A sofa?
A moving sofa.
A moving sofa.
A moving sofa.
We just thought we'd have a little more fun with it.
It's part of the nightmare. You know, Clara
Yes.
is on the sofa, and the mice are spinning it and whirling it, and she's being chased by the mice, and so it kind of adds to the drama, we think.
Does she still have that slipper thing where...
Absolutely. Saves the Nutcracker.
By throwing a slipper. Mm-hmm. Boy.
We practice that a lot.
Has she ever missed that? You know?
I do think that does happen occasionally.
Occasionally she's missed.
But, you just go on as if she made her throw.
Lauren, what's your role in the Nutcracker?
This year I'm dancing in the reed flutes piece, and I'm a snow dummy soloist, and I'm in Spanish that Alberto choreographed, which has been a lot of fun. And I'm also understudying a trepak soloist.
Oh my! Well, that Spanish number is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. So is that Cossack number, the Russian number.
Trepak. Mm-hmm.
Trepak. Okay. All right.
I do that number. So it's a lot of what we call character dancing.
Wait.
I don't do it. I choreograph. Okay, in my imagination, I used to do it.
My imagination too. That's
right. I've retired from that, but
okay.
it's character dancing. So it has a ballet base, but it is Slavic dancing, and we have two soloists, a male and female, and then a group of women that dance behind them, and it's a really energetic. Fun piece.
How long have you been doing this, Lauren?
Well, I did it for 4 years. When I was younger, I did Party Girl for 2 years, and then I did Court Fairy and Snow and Waltz. So I did it for 4 years when I was younger, and then this is my second year as a professional.
We paying her?
We're paying her.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, really. I've been there every year, I think. And sometimes 4 to 5 times.
Yeah. Well, you'll know what's coming before it even happens, I'm sure.
Yeah. How long have you been involved with
I think I want to say about 9 years. I started off as a dancer in the cast. I was the Nutcracker, I think my first year in the production, and then it progressed, and then my body gave out, and then I went into choreographing.
That's interesting. What happens to dancers once they come of age?
Well, you start getting frequent injuries is what happens, because you just can't take the constant pressure. It's like a professional athlete. Mm-hmm. They get to the point where seems to be things are happening all the time. Like, you can't just keep up the pace you used to keep.
I mean, there's only so many dance schools out there. There's only so many choreographers out there. What you have to start a whole new career? I mean, what?
Oh, absolutely. You start a whole new career. Okay. When I was going to quit dancing, I was going to go back to school because I wanted to be an emergency tech. And I loved dancing, and I missed it so much that I went back into it and started teaching and choreographing.
Where do you teach?
Where do I teach?
Where?
Well, I teach all over the place. I teach in Lake Zurich. I teach in Naperville. I teach in downtown Chicago.
Okay.
I teach at gyms. You name it, I do it.
Okay. All right. Well, Lauren, what's your next production after Nutcracker?
Actually, I'm with Giordano Jazz Dance Chicago downtown. I'm in their second company, so we start rehearsing for our Spring Harris. That's going to be in March.
Okay.
After that. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Were you born in Schaumburg? Where are you from originally?
I'm from Carroll Stream.
The only town named after a daughter of the developer.
Oh, okay.
Carroll Stream.
Really?
Did you know that? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Carroll Stream is named after the daughter of the developer of a subdivision in Bloomingdale. You know.
Interesting.
Didn't know that, huh? Come on, you have to know this history stuff. Because I know nothing about dance. I mean, other than I really enjoy it. Do we have a clip here of Nutcracker? Maybe we could take a look and see.
This is the party scene, and these little girls in red and gold are the toy soldiers. Drosselmeyer is the toy maker. He's directly behind them.
Sure.
In this scene, of course, appears Clara. Oh, here's our next scene.
Oh my.
This is the Sugar Plum and Cavalier. We're very lucky to have them. Gema Diaz and Servilio Amador. They come from the Cincinnati Ballet.
Ah.
And he is a principal dancer there, and she's a soloist.
He's been here before, too, hasn't he?
Yes, I think this is their 6th year.
Something like that.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
He's the guy who can touch the sky when he leaves.
He's a fantastic jumper.
He
yes.
really is.
And she's lovely. She's just a beautiful.
How many professionals do you have, other than Lauren, of course, but how many professionals
I think
do you
we have about 12 professional dancers.
Okay.
And the wonderful thing is that they really interact with a lot of the children, and the children get to meet and work with the professionals. And even Gema and Servilio are really good about going out and talking with the kids and meeting with the cast, and they're very gracious and charming. And
How many amateur dancers do you have?
About 100.
100.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you're kind of the little people under the Mother Ginger.
Right, and the soldiers, and the party girls, and the party boys, and
Mice.
soldiers.
soldiers.
We also have students, like more intermediate and advanced students, that dance in the Waltz of the Flowers Corps, the Trepak, Spanish.
And where do all these dancers come from?
It's from many different communities. We have an open audition, so anyone who wishes to audition can come and try out.
Okay.
And so they come from, I don't know, probably a 25-mile radius around Schaumburg, and the professionals, most of them live in the city. But
Okay. I mean, and the professionals, how do you? I mean, do they all audition every year?
they do, although we have people that we have used, frequently, and they come back and audition, and oftentimes are chosen again because. Once we meet someone we really like to work with them, then we like to do that again.
But do you audition the little acrobats that come and do cartwheels?
Well, we've deleted that part this year because we have ribbon dancers.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
But Alberto.
Take out one of my favorite parts.
Sorry. Alberto and Lisa Shepard, who's another director, and I come and audition the children, and we spend 2 entire days looking at children for the different parts.
You and Alberto, do you ever disagree on?
Sure, but for the most part, I think we agree pretty well. I mean, it's pretty evident when you see an audition if a student is capable of doing what you're wanting them to do.
Lauren, what's your favorite part in this?
In the Nutcracker?
Yeah, Nutcracker. Yeah.
I've always loved the party scene. It's
Okay.
just, I don't know, it sets up the show really well, and there's a lot of action.
And the music is really nice too. I mean, well, of course it's nice. My God,
Right,
heavens.
Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky.
Can't beat him.
Can't dispute that.
Right.
So, well, if someone wanted to buy tickets, who would they call?
Well, they can either call here at the Prairie Center and 847-895-3600 or at prairiecenter.org online. And we have 2 weekends of shows, December 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Okay. Well,
10 different performances.
I shall be there.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
Lauren, my pleasure.
Thank you.
There's more than one way to enjoy the arts this holiday season, and some of the various most talented young musicians might have just what you're looking for. Find out more next on Speaking of Schaumburg. There's no doubt Schaumburg is home to some of the most incredibly talented young musicians. If you're in the mood for some lively holiday entertainment, look no further than the Schaumburg Youth Orchestra's Presto Holiday Concert. Here to tell us more about the program is Youth Orchestra Manager Rob Paleckis and Orchestra Director Joe Malmquist. Welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, me too.
It's great to be back once again to talk about one of our favorite shows of the year.
And what does an orchestra manager do besides, what do you manage? This young talent?
I've been wondering that too.
Yeah.
Well, you've put me on the spot.
Joe, what do you do for the orchestra?
I'll get back to you on that.
You're the director, right?
Yes.
How long have you been directing?
Personally or for the specific orchestra?
Okay.
I've been teaching and conducting in some manner or fashion for 31 years now, and 24 of them have been here.
Yeah.
And Rob, you're manager?
And I'm the manager, and I've been with the program since 1989. So we've been at it for quite some time. Watched the program grow from 16 students to close to 200 now. So it's booming. Four ensembles performing throughout the year.
Four levels. When you say ensembles, that's 4 levels of skill. Is that what it is?
Yes, the placement in the ensembles is based on skill development. So each one is specifically designed with the literature and the approach, and the director is chosen for their specific skills as teachers as well as musicians.
Is there an age range here for these young musicians?
There's not a specific certain ages go to certain orchestras, but they range in, how young is our youngest?
I think as young as 3rd, 4th grade in the youngest group. And there are string groups. For the first 2 groups are just string players, and then we introduce winds in the concert orchestra. And then by the time they're in the symphony orchestra, they're quite accomplished by that.
But sooner or later, they reach a point where you say, oh, you're too old, or you're...
Yeah, we've had college students, but at a certain point, the nod is given that it's time to move on and create a vacancy for younger players.
Okay. I mean, are there vacancies for younger players? I mean, have you got room for more musicians? And if so, how does somebody audition? And
we will be having mid-season auditions after this program. We could use an extra trumpet and a couple of trombones. I know in my symphony. String-wise, we're in very solid shape up and down the line. But I know I could use.
They can always contact us and let us know if you know musicians who would like to join. And even if we don't have availability for this particular season, we always have auditions in May. We'd love to have them come out.
What's the Presto event all about? What does it consist of?
Well, Presto.
It's not just music.
No, actually it isn't. Presto started out in 1995 as a program for young people that was kind of an educational program that was based on a particular theme. We did shows on water music, or some of their
music for the stage, whether it be screen or ballet,
right,
or opera or music theater.
And in 1999, we thought, well, we haven't done anything for the holidays yet, so we had a Presto holiday concert, and that right there turned it into an actual annual tradition.
Well received, wasn't it?
Very well received, and we went from 1 performance a night. Now we have 2 performances. In the afternoon and the evening on the 17th of December. So, and yes, there's more than just music.
Tell me about some of the more than just music, Rob.
I'm glad you asked.
Me too.
And I will answer that question.
I hope so.
Carefully guarded secret here.
It is a carefully guarded secret. I can tell you, past shows, some of the titles were "I'll Be Cloned for Christmas." Yes. These are very thoughtful programs.
It's not a comedy show, Joe.
It's not. Which one? Yours or? Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Well, then I fit in perfectly. This year's program will be, and I don't think you know this yet.
Quickly, tell me.
Deck the hallways.
With what?
That remains to be seen.
And that scares me. One of the skills that Rob brings to this every single year in every Presto program is the ability to add some audience engagement, some scripts, some dialogue, some acting, some other elements to move from one musical event to another, but still manages to not have it in a manner that detracts from the musician's effort. And that really is quite a talent of his. Sometimes the hijinks on stage can detract from the performance, and it gets carried. It's still fun and entertaining, but it's no longer a music-centric performance. And Rob has always balanced the ability to make the music and the musicians come first, and this is ancillary.
Right, the orchestra is always the star. And
tell me about some of the characters, though. I mean, you get a stable of characters that you typically
we do have some players that some actors that we bring back time after time who work on short notice, who also know how to play with.
Is it because the script gets there the day before or the night before? Or the hour
I don't know
before?
what you're talking about.
Tim Philbin knows what.
Yeah, they get the script very soon before the performance, and that's why we like them. They're a quick study. So they do learn very quickly.
Is it safe to say that Mr. Philbin will be in this production?
Well, we hope so. We hope so. He can be demanding sometimes, so we don't know yet.
What does he demand?
A trailer in the back.
We often have a guest surprise appearance, a cameo of someone. I have so much trouble with this one passage in 12 Days of Music.
What's a passage?
I can never get this spot correct. The kids play it, and somebody always comes and helps me out just in the nick of time.
Did you somehow miss a fifth or something, or slip a fifth, or? This is musician talk, isn't it?
I plead the fifth.
You plead the fifth.
This is, I think we're referring to, we do a performance of the 12 Days of Christmas, which is an arrangement by Robert Hansen, who was a director of the Elgin Symphony Orchestra, and he's also
will he be performing?
So, no, Mr. Hansen will not be joining us for that, but we do have permission to use this piece that he arranged, and it literally is the 12 Days of Christmas with some...
Yes,
shall we say?
I've seen it. Yes.
Some bonus
and
material.
it's true that there is.
Very good.
I hope it doesn't happen again this year. But
Always that one measure.
But yeah, Joe does have a little trouble with one of the measures, and you have to sometimes count on perhaps someone in the audience to help us out with it.
And what if the person in the audience doesn't know any more about music than another person in the audience? I mean,
we would think that they know at least more than the person currently conducting that particular moment.
who'll be conducting it? So, how did you get? How did you get started in being a director? But you look vaguely like someone that I've seen on the stage playing the violin with this Elgin Symphony Orchestra.
I know that person. Yes, I've played with Elgin for 31 years.
So that's before here.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Which is really beneficial. It keeps me constantly fresh with ideas about literature. I get to work with a lot of tremendous conductors, which is the only way to learn, is to constantly be listening. And from the seat in the violin section to judge what's being done on the podium gives me a lot of ideas of what I should or should not do when I'm running a rehearsal. Students react the same way as I do when someone just talks a little bit too long or gets too long to a point, or
well, tell me about some of the things that the audience can expect to see and hear when they come to.
I think we should tell them a little bit about the three classical Christmas pieces, which are really fun.
One of the things for the students is they join a youth orchestra in order specifically to play a higher caliber of music than they could. It's like an all-star team you put together.
Sure.
So to always do a holiday concert, it's fun and the kids enjoy it, but I'm always trying to find good, solid, core classical literature that they can grow as a musician as well as just enjoy getting to play for the holidays.
Is he going to play Mahler?
Well, actually, that may be on next year's list. There's a composer who's taken some of the great works of classical literature, which everybody will recognize, and extremely cleverly woven in some Christmas elements to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Who would that be?
I think Robert Wendell's the composer, and I think what he does with Ravel's Bolero is quite good. The way he kind of works Little Drummer Boy into it. So it's dun da 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 dun da 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 dun, which is the classic,
Sure.
bolero, and then it goes into the melody. Da da. Yep. And it's really clever. But you're hearing both Ravel and you're hearing this popular Christmas piece. And
the writing and the keys are
wonderful.
exactly what the original classical work would be, and he just layers in where an oboe melody that was similar to the other one becomes a Christmas carol instead of the Schubert unfinished.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted tickets to the show, and are there still tickets available?
We have tickets for the 3:30 and the 7:30 show. They can call us at 847-895-3600 or go to prairiecenter.org, buy them online.
Okay, I know what time, now what day?
Saturday, December 17th, 3:30, 7:30.
Right here.
Great show at the Prairie Center for the Arts. It really is, I think, one of the highlights of the season at the Prairie Center.
You'll be conducting.
Yes.
And you'll be managing.
And I'll be managing.
Well, what do you do on a show night to manage?
I pace a lot. Yeah, I worry, make sure everything goes right, make sure everyone's there, make sure
No, I don't know. That's why I'm
I
asking.
get, yeah. Well, actually, no, I'm fortunate. We have Cassandra Herman, who's our orchestra assistant, who is on top of everything.
Okay.
See, Joe's very modest. What you have to understand
is
is
a shout out for Cassandra.
Cassie's the best, and we have 4 terrific directors, and they are partially or mainly the reason why these kids keep coming back every year. Okay. Joe, Yum Pham, Greta Hess, and Michelle Freeland, all of them very experienced players and engaging teachers and
marvelous
instructors.
musicians.
And marvelous musicians.
Joe, someday I want to see you out there on the football field.
Okay.
Once again. Rob?
Would you like to see me on the football field?
Joe, I'd like to see you on the football field again. Rob? Fine job. This is a season of goodwill. And this year, you can help make someone's holiday wish come true. Find out how next on Speaking of Schaumburg. The Schaumburg Jaycees is a not-for-profit organization that provides young people with opportunities for community service, individual development, and leadership skills. And here to tell us more about the ways they're getting involved this holiday season are Jaycee President Christy Martin and Lauren Bachtel. Welcome to Speaking
Thank you for
of
having
Schaumburg.
us. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Lauren Bachtel. Tell us about your involvement. How did you guys get involved in the Jaycees?
Actually, a friend of mine from work was telling me a couple years ago about what they were doing for Wish Tree, and she asked me if I was ever interested in volunteering, and I said sure. So I went to a meeting, and a couple meetings later I signed up and became a member. So that will be 4 years in May.
4 years in May. Mm-hmm. But who's counting?
Right.
Lauren, how about you?
For me, it was just laptop and Googling, looking for volunteering opportunities. So this is actually my first year.
Oh, okay, all right. So tell us about the Wish Tree. That's a big project for you guys, isn't it? And a really worthy project.
It is. It's a great project. Do you want to?
Sure, absolutely. So basically, we provide the opportunity for members of the village of Schaumburg, anywhere, to come and grab a name of a child off of our wish tree and purchase a Christmas gift for them that they might not otherwise receive if we weren't there to help out. So it's helping families in need and giving back to the community.
Where's the wish tree located?
Wish Tree is actually located at 160D South Roselle. They donate the location to us almost every year. It's right next to Bonefish at the corner of Schaumburg and Roselle.
Town Square. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, all right. And I mean, how successful is it? And where do you get the kids' names from? You know?
It's actually very successful. Last year we were able to give we gave 93 children in the community 3+ gifts for them to open up on Christmas morning. This is our 26th year of doing it.
Okay.
So it's just a great way, and people can just come in and take a name off. We find out the names from the township. They've done the checks and found out people and given us the names.
And we have 93 names again this year. So.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Did you guys deliver the gifts to the house? Or
Sometimes.
Sometimes, okay.
On actually the Friday before Christmas, or this year will be 2 Fridays before Christmas.
Sure.
We deliver to the house for those who need us to deliver it, and then others like to come in and pick up from the location.
That's got to be heartwarming too, isn't it?
Yes, it's wonderful to go in and see them just tear up and excited. And we're also able to provide 10 families with food as well that day.
Okay.
So for us to bring in bags of food and gifts for Christmas, it's amazing.
How many members of the chapter are involved in the Wish Tree?
Several. Really, it takes a lot, all of us, to do it.
Yeah, because we're open every weekend from the weekend of the 25th until we deliver gifts the 16th of December. So we have volunteers from the organization volunteering Friday through Sunday essentially each weekend, and then helping decorate and wrap the gifts and then deliver them out.
So if somebody wanted to let's say, donate to the project, who would they? Is there a number they can call, or is there a?
The best way is you can stop into the location, which is, like I said, right next to Bonefish, or contact us at our email account, which is schaumburgwishtree@gmail.com.
Okay. Now, the Jaycees, you guys are involved in other projects too, I suspect. Yes. What are some of those?
Our upcoming projects will be taking part in the village tree lighting, and then we also will have Christmas food baskets. So we will be given 10 names of families in the community, so we will buy food for 2 weeks approximately, pretty much the winter break, and we'll deliver the food to them as well.
Yeah, tell me about the the Santa's arrival.
For village tree
and what
lighting?
you guys do there. Yeah.
For village tree lighting, we contact Santa and we have him come in. It's really much his first visit to the Schaumburg area, and he is dropped off by the fire truck, and he comes up and meets with you, and you guys light up the Christmas tree. And the Schaumburg Jaycees provide the punch and the cookies and the goodies, and just kind of putting it all together in the auditorium so that everything flows smoothly. So as people are waiting, they're entertained by Jingle the Elf and get up and see Santa.
And you got Jingle the Elf. Is that the guy in the stilts? Or?
Oh, no, that's Stilts. His name's Stilts.
His name is Stilts?
Yeah.
And what does Stilts do?
Stilts is out in the auditorium, or outside the auditorium, providing balloon animals.
Yeah.
And then we also have face painters that come in, and Jingle the Elf is the elf that's in the auditorium with her little bell dog,
Okay.
entertaining the kids.
But yeah, kids, I'm sure, love those balloon animals.
Oh, yes. They do.
Gets up there, twists, and and,
Yes.
and one of them
And then he's
pops,
so
and
tall.
the kid is destroyed, and then you come back and gets another
Right.
one, right? So they're guaranteed, aren't they, those balloon animals?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
It's all free for them, so they can keep coming back for
Now,
more.
there's a Christmas tree out there. Who arranges the decorations? Is that somebody else? Is that
That is not the Jaycees.
okay, not the Jaycees? Probably Public Works. So.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So what else do you guys do?
You wanna talk
Yeah,
about it?
I'm actually running a project next week where all the Jaycees are coming out and making greeting cards for Operation Right Home, which is actually an organization that delivers boxes of blank cards out to soldiers overseas, which allows them to then write cards back home to their wives or girlfriends or children because they don't really have Hallmark available to them. So we basically just make cards and send them out. So we're having a group get together to do that next week. So
you're
giving back
making
in
cards.
that way.
Making
Making
cards.
greeting cards, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Exactly.
Well, that's a great project.
Yeah, I'm excited about
How many years have you guys been doing that?
This is year one.
Are you chairing the project?
I am. So
Okay,
it's
all
my
right.
first big project that I'm chairing. So I'm really
Okay.
looking forward to it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Where do you do the work?
We're actually using our Wish Tree location. So
Okay, so you're going to be in there making Christmas cards?
yeah, exactly.
Now, do you get the same people every year that come and take the tag off the tree? Or
We have a lot of returns. Yeah, which is wonderful. We couldn't thank them enough. If it wasn't for them, we couldn't continue to do this every year. And then we have a lot of new people coming in. We have schools that come in for their student council, and they want to take a couple names off the tree as well, so that the students at the school are taking part in
Oh, that's
that
great.
activity.
That's great.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see all that.
When you say students, is it high school or grade school or junior high?
Last year we had a junior high that came in and took a few names
Okay.
off, and then we've had a elementary school. So just maybe the teachers at the school doing it as well. So they all get involved, and
Now, you guys are involved in Septemberfest too, right?
yes,
Okay, and that's a major fundraiser for you.
it is. Yes, we run the beer booth on Monday. So
Okay.
that actually provides us what we make there, we put towards all of our holiday
sure. Oh,
projects.
sure.
So it's a great way for us to give back to the community after being at Septemberfest.
What other projects do you guys have in store or in mind? Or
For this is our big season right now with the
Okay.
Wish Tree and Operation Right Home. And then into the spring, we'll start more trainings for individual development and trainings for the members. We do public speaking trainings, we do write-up trainings, we do all sorts of trainings as well.
now, the Operation the Right Home. Where do you get that? Where did the project come from?
Christy actually gave me the idea, and then I went online and did research, and they've been around for quite a few years, sending just tons of boxes of cards out to the soldiers, and it's great for the soldiers, it's great for the families that get to receive them from the soldiers. And
Who does the mailing? I mean, who coordinates the mailing? You guys coordinate everything on the?
we don't do, basically I'll send it to a shipper for Operation Right Home, and then the shipper handles it from there. So I just have to put the box together and send it away.
Okay, all right. Well, that's great. I mean, you guys do wonderful work. You've done work for years and years and years.
Thank you.
So,
And
it's
we-
a
sorry,
great
go ahead.
project. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, we know that you are a JC as well. So we brought you a little gift.
Should I open this or?
It's up to you.
Nothing's going to pop out.
No, nothing's going to pop out of here.
Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. Love it. Love it. That's a great color too. Oh yes. Oh, these are some of the your name here.
Well, what it is it's everybody that are famous
Yeah.
JCs,
Oh.
and then it's to encourage others to become a JC and
that's
think
great.
about their
Look
name
at that.
being there as well.
Does this make me look fat? No. No, this is wonderful. Look at that. And all the names. Absolutely. Yep. Well, thank you. I shall wear this with pride.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This will do for this edition of Speaking of Schaumburg. Join us again next month for another all-new episode. Until then, I'll see you around town.